I keep trying to get my thoughts out about this stupid movie, and it's all very meandering and unfollowable. So I'm trying again, and I'm giving myself 5 minutes. I have a timer on my phone. As soon as that is up, I am leaving it and moving on. Okay, one single take. Here we go. Okay, Spider-Man, brand new day. This is a 3 stars out of 5 movie. It's probably going to go down to 2 stars out of 5 because the more I think about it, the worse it becomes. 3 stars out of 5 is largely because of the novelty factor more than anything else. This is probably the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that exists, but that doesn't really say much because he's had, what was the first one? Homecoming? Well, that was kind of boring. It set stuff up, but it was kind of boring. Far From Home was like a bit better in terms of the relationships between different characters, but imagine having Mysterio, who is a magic villain, in a universe where magic is already established, and you decide to rationally justify why you have this antagonist in here and give him projector cameras and stuff like that. I wasn't really a fan. The third one is just like a fan service movie. What's that one called? No Way Home. That's just fan service the whole time. And I don't even really think about this movie as a Tom Holland Spider-Man one because you've got Tobey Maguire in there and Andrew Garfield. And Andrew Garfield is so much better than Tom Holland. And it's just all very confusing. And the movie isn't really like about anything. It's just a big fight. And it seems to be filmed in a cupboard because Thomas Hayden Church isn't even there. And blah, blah, blah. So this is probably the best Spider-Man movie that Tom Holland has done. Best thing about this movie is definitely Tom Holland's performance. He's really, really good. The emotional storyline between him and MJ and him and Ned and not being able to see them and no one knowing who he is, I think is quite good. I think it's related quite well to the arachnid DNA plotline. And I think also him being unsure of himself, thinking back to Aunt May's stuff and the resolution of that plotline, resolving the Jean Grey plotline, all of that works for me. The stuff I don't really like about the emotional plotline is the direction they're clearly going to get Peter Parker back into a relationship with Mary Jane. I don't know why they're doing this. Memory loss has to be handled very, very carefully. We're going to Doctor Who this and Donna Noble it and completely reverse the whole thing, and then it becomes totally meaningless. I mean, that is like the best thing about this movie is the fact that they don't know who he is and he feels really torn up about that, and I really buy into that. In a movie's time, they're already laying the groundwork for the fact that Ned can remember him and MJ, that boyfriend she had, he's a nobody, so eventually Peter Parker will come back into the fray. He should just move on. I thought he was going to go and meet that woman that he didn't really acknowledge but was really interested in him in the elevator. That part, I thought she would be Gwen Stacy or something and they would have a chat. I've got 2 minutes and 20. What else is in this movie? Jean Grey. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we've now circled back so far with so many superhero movies that we're going to have a whole new X-Men continuity. So whatever. I thought Sadie Sink was great and I thought it related fine. I think the main problem with this movie is that the antagonist isn't revealed until quite late. There's a lot of repetitive things about this movie. There's a lot of I'm saying hello through a person and Peter Parker's like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm the bad guy, or you better watch out. And that's really repetitive and boring. And then you've got a lot of repetition in the other emotional storylines. So Peter Parker saying, oh, I'm this person, or I'm that guy, or you don't know me, I'm bringing you flowers. Oh, I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to say something. And it's just like, get on with it. This movie is like 2.5 hours long. And I feel like we only do like 3 things. What else? Oh, and we're doing the whole Spider-Man 2 thing again with Spider-Man No More. Another example of how repetitive this film is. There's a bunch of stuff that doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense. I've got 1 minute and 24. One of those things is, in this movie, we're trying very hard to establish Peter Parker with his own identity. That's something that he struggled with having because he was so heavily tied to Iron Man and the Avengers. And so he's living by himself, no one knows who he is, but he's got all of these computers in his apartment, and at no point do we see him ever start to get a job. How can he afford these things? This is an example of how when you start thinking about the movie, none of it makes any sense. He goes up to Bruce Banner and goes, that's a nice inhibitor. How does it work? And then goes and builds one in his bedroom. How did he have the money to do that? How does he have the resources and the technology? I've got 48 seconds to try and remember everything else about this movie. I don't even care if I'm talking too quick and I'm not understandable. I'm just going for it. I haven't got time. Oh, yeah, of course. The Punisher. The Punisher's really great. John Bernthal's great. I love The Walking Dead. I love John Bernthal. He's great. It's kind of funny to see those two together in a movie immediately after having watched The Odyssey. I had no idea who Florence Pugh is. I guess she's like Black Widow or something. I don't really know who she is. I'll find out one day. I stopped watching the MCU before Infinity War, so I haven't even seen that film. And no one has any aura in these movies. I just watched X-Men 2. The whole thing is like aura farming for 2 hours, and there's no aura in this movie. The closest we get is when Spider-Man takes his mask off and he has black eyes, so whatever. The movie is mid. I've got like 2 seconds, 3 stars, and that's everything. That works for me. I have no idea if that was understandable, but that was fun.